I've already hit the button.
Roll out.
Oh God.
Beautiful. That was so
It sounded
good.
perfect. It's like perfect over the.
Perfect way to start the episode.
We're going to keep that there. What's going on, guys? This is the Nerd Archive podcast. As always, we got Justin, Lola, Yachty, and myself, Lewis. And we are all here together. And it's that time. It's been a while since we've been all under the same roof, and this is fantastic. Listen.
Wrong tune, damn it.
Yeah, well, listen. We are going to be talking about Megacon today because
Yes, we are.
Lola went to Megacon, and she has a special announcement. Her and Hayden Christensen are getting married.
We are getting married. It's not just in my head, guys.
Lewis is the best man. We're the groomsmen.
Fair.
I'll be the ring bearer.
I can.
Is that
He's the ring bearer. What's
Yeah. Actually, I think he's the best man.
He is. He's my.
Yeah. We obviously cannot have children there.
Yeah. No, there's going to be a lot
can't
of
have a kid being
inappropriate
the
jokes.
Yeah, no. No, because
And then Chris with his cliff notes at the end.
Oh, yeah.
he can't be there. Anakin's gonna think that he's a kid. Love you, Chris. All right, so listen, take it away. Just tell us what did you go all 4 days?
I went 3 out of the 4 days. I went Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday I said fuck it because parking was such a bitch on Saturday.
And you got what you wanted.
And I got what I wanted. It was very touch and go there. Listen, this is something for the podcast, but okay. Got there, left a little bit late on Saturday. On Thursday and Friday, I had been parking on a specific parking lot. They changed that to preferred parking. That's fine. I wish they had sent out an email or that I had known prior to that. So I would have gotten there a little bit earlier. And I went to 3 or 4 different parking lots. Most of them were cash only. So, yeah. The other ones were full. And then they were like, okay, well, as a last resort, you can go to Icon Park. Went to Icon Park. I wait 10 minutes in line behind, many cars. And I get to the front and the guy's like, hey, parking filled out 5 minutes ago. I don't know what to tell you. It's my first day.
What an asshole.
Yeah, they didn't give him any instructions, didn't tell him anything. And at this point, I, first of all, have to pee after an hour and a half drive. Also waiting around and driving around to try to find a parking lot. Almost started crying. That didn't happen. Thank God. Didn't pee myself either. So we're off to a good start.
That's great. I'm glad it didn't happen.
But I got so desperate. I called my ex and I was like, hey, this is what's happening. I need somewhere to park my car. Do you mind if I leave my car over there and then take an Uber back? And he's like, I'll just drive. And I was like, fantastic.
Did you tell me that happened?
I didn't tell you that happened. I left that part out specifically just to say it during the podcast.
And well.
Yeah, no, I got, like I said, desperate times call for desperate measures, and this was a very important day in my life. It's almost 1 o'clock.
You called your ex so you can meet your future
boo.
Your future husband. Okay.
It's almost 1 o'clock. My time slot for the photo op was 2 o'clock. Finally was able to get cash and pee. Go back to
you
the
got
cash only.
And pee?
And peed.
Oh, I
went
like,
to a
why you buy for
Walgreens.
that?
I went to a Walgreens. I didn't have to stay in line just to get cash.
An ATM?
An ATM, thank you. So went to pee, come out, get the ATM, go to the ATM, get some cash, get back in my car, drive back to the cash only parking lot. Was able to park my car and fly over to where the photo op area is. Waited in line for like still 2 hours at this. Yeah. So I had time. I just because they were running behind, and so let me set the. We're in a rush. Half of this room because it was near the horror area. but it's all children.
Oh, geez.
It's,
Why? Wait. You have children in the same room as Anakin?
Yes. They couldn't see him. They put one of those, those walls that you can. But yeah, they divided for a screaming contest, and the other half is where he was at. They made a little square out of curtains, and then the backdrop. But as I'm in hungry, I just I paid $30 for parking. Wasn't a fan of that. And there's children screaming very, very, very loudly. So I'm overwhelmed. And
So listen, okay. I'm still on this children in the same room as Anakin. So I already know what they were thinking. What you didn't see was that they were playing this to the kids. And then they said, "Okay, all right, now turn around," and they see Anakin standing right there.
you're just ready to fucking murder them all.
Master Skywalker, there are too many of them. What are we going to do?
Do you think this was a little bit of karma because he killed so many children in the show and the movies, and now he's like, oh, I have to stay here with all the screaming children?
They're torturing him.
And that was purgatory for him.
Yeah, I was there for only 2 hours, plus the time that I went in to take a picture, which was no time at all. He was there the entire time listening to his children scream. So I go in, the autism is kicking in because we're already overwhelmed. Especially with the screaming children. And yeah, so I'm holding my ear, trying to like dull out the fucking noise. I get in line. They tell me you have to put your phone away. That's fine. Then they're like, you have to put your backpack away. I was like, that's and they're like,
Me and him.
me and my future husband. That's who's here. And they're like, okay, so you have, and he's so sweet, guys. He's so gentle. We shake hands. The autism kicks in again, and I can't make eye contact with this man. But then I'm like, you make eye contact with him. He's your fucking hero. And then I introduce myself. I say, hi, how are you? And he asked me how I am. I couldn't hear him the first time in a little bit, and try to speak to me. And then I'm like, you're a bitch. You get back in there. And then I lean back in. And he's like, yeah.
He said, "Hi, how are you?" And she responds with, "How high am I? I don't think I'm any
I don't
high."
understand that question. Please ask me again.
With a sexier voice.
Yeah. Please ask me
Can
again.
you unbutton a button, please? Can you ask me that question? I'm not wearing buttons. Exactly. Let's take it off.
So all of it. So we take the picture, and then I'm like, thank you very much. And then I call my mom, and I'm like, and she's like, well, how was the picture? And I was like, I love him.
That's funny. All right, now that anything else happened?
Yeah, a lot have happened.
Yes.
That same day, I was able to sneak into the Giancarlo Esposito panel. He spoke about. Moff Gideon, so that was cool. I have that on video, so hopefully you can put that on.
Yes, we are going to take a really, really quick short break so you guys can see that.
Hi, my name is Kane.
Hi.
I just had a question. In your very expansive career, is there any tidbit or words of wisdom or advice that you feel like isn't spoken about enough that you want to share with us?
Yeah, what you do today. What you do today determines your tomorrow. I don't care what you do. What your thought form is today will determine your tomorrow. Time is moving faster and faster as the world is just circling on its axis. And to have what you want and to be fulfilled, you need to prepare yourself and think about what that is. And if you don't know what that is, ask the question and wait for the answer. And then what you do, you're planning today in your thought form, in your writing, to achieve your goal. You must spend some energy, because we are energy. We're 90%, between 60 and 90% water. For men and women, it's a little bit different. And we're electrical beings. So get together and support each other in your goals. And we as a people have to come together and not be so disparately and so far apart in regards to how we're going to change the world. Because there are big things that need to be changed. The planet needs big help. It needs all of you. It needs all of me to be giving it our conscious attention, a little bit of our time, so that we can preserve it for our children, and so that we can teach them how to make really significant change in what they see around them as opposed to just marching in step. So for me, my career has come because I paid attention to it. I wanted to do something real for a purpose to bring people from one place in their consciousness to another. I wanted to bring people to a place where they could be thoughtful, where they could have fun, where they could really see mirrors of themselves that they hadn't seen before. I wanted to really be a part of our society. Now, look, little did I know I'd become like a pop culture icon for more than one character. That's all good too, but there's a reason for that. Part of that reason is for me to be real. Like I could have a very unreal life if I chose to. Very insulated, very nervous about people coming up to me, all that stuff. That's my journey, is to just be who I am and really enjoy that. So that's my advice I would give, really, really be present in the moment and present for your lives. A character I want to be inspired is a great word, and part of why I come here is to get inspiration from all of you, share inspiration with you as well, and then to channel whatever inspiration that may come up for me. So I live by my gut and my heart. I read a stage direction in the very first episode I did as a guest star for Vince Gilligan in Breaking Bad that said, hiding in plain sight. It wasn't a line, it was a stage direction. And it intrigued me because I started to think about how many people that I would see in my daily life, a neighbor, someone I thought I knew, and I started to wonder, are they hiding in plain sight? And the idea of that for Gustavo really intrigued me, and I built a character on that. Because I had to talk to Vince Gilligan before I agreed. I didn't want to play a stereotypical gangster or a stereotypical villain or a stereotypical evil person. And so I wanted to play someone who was trying to build something. He had a dream to build something. And that's why I say dream big, whatever it is. You choose whether it's the dark or the light. We hope it's the light. But you make a choice and then you build it. Field of dreams, if you build it, it will come. So for me, Gustavo started as a whisper. I knew he was from Chile. I wanted him to have an accent. I wanted him to be intense. I wanted him to command the space. When do you command the space of your life? When do you command the chaos? The space of your life is to plan, leave time to think about your dream, to write it down. I know you gotta go to work from 9 to 5 or whatever you do, or from 8 to 12 or whatever that is. But you honor yourself when you command the space of your life. I'm gonna do this Monday, Wednesday, Friday, because in a year from now, I'm gonna get my screenplay published. I'm gonna do this Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, because I need to keep my body in order and my mind in order. I'm gonna pray 3 times a week. I'm gonna learn how to worship, whether it's my God or goddess, whatever religion you are, because that will bring me solace in my life. I'm going to turn the phone off for a day. I'm going to fast for a day, because it'll make me stronger and give me some kind of impetus and energy for my life. It's not going to get done for you. You have to take control over the timing of your life.
So, all right, now you're back. I hope that you enjoyed that interview in the panel with Giancarlo Esposito. Esposito. Why am I Giancarlo Esposito?
Giancarlo Despacito.
Despacito.
That's what you were saying?
Like Daddy Yankee and Luis Fonsi. So I hope you enjoy that. And what happened after that?
After that, in that same room, they were going to have Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio, I think is how you pronounce that. D'Onofrio?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Unfortunately, you had to get in line for that, or you needed. I didn't have that, so I waited until the very last second. See how I start getting comfortable? When they were like, "Hey, we have 10 slots left." And I was like, great, I am here by myself. And they were like, great, get in here. And I was like, yes. So I also have that on video.
All right, so we're going to play that really quick.
I'm not sure if I should say what's really on my mind. There's another thing that came to my mind immediately. Like, I'd much rather do Swamp Thing for DC.
incredible. The James Mangold rumor, I'd love to see that pairing.
Me too.
Just saying. Now, the game itself, we saw the chaos happen. I'm going to speed run it a bit, so I want to make sure we get through all of these. But for you guys, I want to know, and I can't believe I'm saying some of these things, would you rather play a hero or a villain?
I'd like to try my hand at a villain. Yeah, I thought, the time's right. I mean, I'm pretty happy with the character I have right now. The hero, but at some point that'll be fun.
Certainly got a darkness to him.
I don't understand the question. I'm not a villain. Play a hero.
I said dueling protagonists at the top, so I don't disagree. They're protecting their city.
Yeah, Fisk is not a villain.
This may be the hardest question of all, because it makes me feel like a villain. New York City pizza, New York City bagel.
What about?
Which would you go for? If you had only one, pizza or bagel?
It's weird, but I want to say pizza, but I think it's a bagel. Because I've had really good pizza in other places in New York. But New York pizza is great, but I've had it as great in other countries. So, but not bagels.
Bagels are so. 82% of you said pizza, and you disagree with these gentlemen, because and everything bagels are at the top, just frankly. Books or movies? Would you choose a book or a movie?
I want to sound intelligent and say books. Well, it's definitely movies.
Instagram.
100% of the audience said Instagram. Day or night? 32% of the audience said day, 68% said night. What's your pick?
A day.
From 20 years old to 35, it was night. And then I went through a period of cocooning. And I came out to be a day person. And I've been like...
Now this one's tricky because I'm a cat person. Cats or dogs?
Definitely dogs.
61% of the audience agrees with me. Would you rather see the future or change the past?
I think I'd see the future. It might be scary, but I think I'd see the future.
Yeah.
All right. 63%.
Unless, can I go back into the past and make a bet?
Oh, like another fun offense. Because then you're doing both.
And change the future.
I mean, he did add boxer briefs, so I think that happened. Yeah, no, I think we're in. And then the last question was boxers or briefs?
Boxer briefs.
Boxer briefs. That's also kind of like yellow briefs. So, like in the comics, the yellow suit are kind of boxer brief. Yeah, that kind of works.
So I think that if you're a guy these days and you're not doing the boxer brief thing, then you're making a serious mistake.
That's fair. Now, instead of a try or shoot versus question, the typical thing is to do a versus in the comic book lore, but I've got a team-up question for Charlie. There's a certain group of turtles who had this ooze spilled onto them, and it caused someone to go blind above them, and then there's like this stick splinter thing. There's a lot of parallels. I don't know if you guys know this, but the same moment that caused Daredevil caused the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Who do you think Matt would get along best with of the turtles?
Who would I get along with? So I became my kind of memory of kind of falling in love with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was before the films came out. When I had a NES. Remember the NES?
Yeah.
And there was one of the first games I got was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game. And if you played that game, you learned pretty quickly that Donatello was the one with the stick, right? He was the best one because he had the best reach, right? So he's like de facto always been my favorite because of it.
I like the idea of like a defense mechanism. You're like,
Yeah,
okay,
you could always get further with him because he had the stick. You could get better reach.
I respect that.
So
What a
Donatello.
practical fighter choice. I really like that move. Son of Batman Jack. Vincent, I love how much you've been vocal about wanting to fight Spider-Man. I love your vitriol for Spider-Man. So since I asked him the team-up question, I want to know, how do you see the fight going, and Would you rather it be a Palpatine behind-the-scenes situation for a bit, or you just want to throw down with him in a movie?
I would like it to be the most interesting lead-up to the most interesting fight ever.
Palpatine it is. I like playing a long game. I support it. All right, so we also
What
have...
else am I going to say? You know, it's like...
So we apparently have a second game, which I am very curious about. It's like a Family Feud situation. So it's basically letting you know the other which one you think it is. So which one of you forgot their lines more often?
When?
On the initial run we'll go with, because you got more data with that. So on the initial run of Netflix.
Not Charlie and I, never.
I agree. I support that. Who broke character the most? Broke character the most?
Never.
Who's a pickier eater?
Who's a what?
Pickier eater.
On set?
Mm-hmm.
I thought... Well, I won't say anything. I saw Charlie stuffing some weird shit. That I would never touch. At that time, I was like 3 times his size, and I was like, really?
You know, there's things that when you're filming, right? It's 4 a.m. You're wearing spandex on a rooftop, and it's freezing cold, and you're waiting for the next shot, which could be 90 minutes, and you kind of find yourself gravitating towards the craft table, and you just were like, I'm just gonna eat my feelings. And there's some weird shit on there. And you're like, I'm gonna try that. That's what's happening right now.
So the answer is Charlie.
Charlie. Which one of you was always on time?
You are as well, right? We're on time.
I love that bonding. I love
On-time
that
people.
the yeses. More likely to go skydiving.
I've been skydiving.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, there it is. That's the personality test we all
That I
passed.
never had.
Do you have any interest?
I saw a videotape of my daughter doing it, and she literally cried the whole way down. And she's like, yeah, this like awesome, athletic chick. Like she's amazing, my daughter. But wow. But then I just heard she recently just told me that she's going to do it again. I'm like, really? You're going to cry all the way down?
So the psychology of these characters have always fascinated me because they're so archetypal that we can all connect with them, and they've lasted so many years for a reason. But I also feel like there's an inherent moral compass to them in both directions. What do you feel you gain most from registering that character into you? Do you carry any lessons from playing them day to day?
I don't have to tell you guys, we all know that everyday life is challenging, right? And that every day there's huge choices that we have to make. Sometimes they're little small choices, but other times they're a bit bigger. It depends on what gets thrown at you, weekly or monthly or yearly. And when you're playing characters that have very dark sides and very light sides, well, I'll speak for myself. I reflect back onto my real life and the feelings that I've felt when I've made poor choices. And I also reflect back onto my life about the feelings that I have when I make good choices. And I try to remember those feelings and bring those feelings into scenes. And then once you exercise that kind of work on a daily basis, or maybe once or twice during an episode, you kind of put your life in a pretty decent perspective. Like, we all suffer from the same things. We all make mistakes, and sometimes we do pretty good. And I think that's the human experience. So yeah, for me personally, yeah, I do. I take things away from it. Yeah.
I love that. I love that Kingpin's highs and lows of that. And in fact, that's beautiful.
It's such a fun thing, and I guess because we've been doing it for so many years now, you don't really think about the fact that a lot of people don't act, but it's such a fun thing to be able to experiment with how you might talk to someone without the consequences of actually talking to someone like that. It's really cool. Like, I was doing a scene on something recently, and and you know, I one of the takes I spoke to the person I was speaking to, and I was really rude, you know, and I you know, my own filter in real life, I don't think I would go to that place. I would know that you can't speak to someone that way. So it's really freeing to be able to enjoy speaking to someone really rudely in a way that you wouldn't in real life, or hopefully you wouldn't in real life. It's a really fun experiment.
And Charlie Cox, can you be more specific?
I've been so careful. It's so interesting because I genuinely can't wait to watch the thing you may or may not be filming. So I'm like, I don't want to know anything. And that's the best feeling in the world. You guys are making something that I want nothing to know of because I want to live it. And that's so exciting to be a fan right now. It's so special. And that actually brings me to my penultimate question. This is something you've both been so happy about coming back to, and you've been so public about that happiness of being back. Did it feel that way on the thing you may or may not be filming? Just, I don't want to know anything about it, but like, did it all register? Does it feel like a homecoming? Does it feel warm, like a reunion?
I mean, every day, I'm still having moments of like, this is awesome. This is unreal. I can't believe this is happening. And a huge amount of that is thanks to you guys.
How did you both hear? What was the actual? I know you were waiting for, but the phone call was hopeful. Was there a phone call? Was there an email? How does one find out a thing is it a Twitter trend? How do you find out? Does he have a hat?
Yeah, he has a hat. His name is Kevin. Calls you one evening, and it tells you half of everything.
And my last question for the day, because we have
one thing to say real quick. As far as going off what Charlie said about every day, there's a kind of feeling about, wow, we're doing this. Like even today, being with John and Charlie, and being with them, you know, it's so delightful. There's nothing wrong with it. Like there's nothing wrong with these two other actors. In my mind, they are just both so good and so pleasant to be around. And you know, our business can be hairy at times, and you know, to have two guys of their talent and be just genuine human beings and fun, it's like just fun to hang out with, right? I mean, it's not complicated really, you know what I mean? It's a wonderful thing. So in the sense that what Charlie said, I agree, there are experiences on this thing that I'm doing at the moment. But there are like real kind of, you know, ideas of this is a guy, his name is Charlie. God, it's fucking great to be around. You know?
Yeah, you would just hope Vincent would learn from us, but it's
That actually, you started my last question with. I was going to ask about John. He obviously had a whirlwind tour coming in and had to leave, and he's been busy. He couldn't be here, but he was here. What was it like for you guys to start to do the concert as friends once you got to know each other? Because I think this is one of those beautiful communities in the world. Like, it's an actual community. Comic-Cons are about sharing in person. We're not digital. We're here together. How is doing those together as friends and traveling?
Well, John educated me. Like, in those first few years when I first went to my first con in 2015, I'd never, you know, John had been doing it because of The Walking Dead. He was like a veteran of these things. So he kind of told me how to do it and what to expect and what not to expect, and you know, like I learned from him. He's like one of the OGs. So it's fun to be able to do it with him now, and you know, we're both kind of like, you know, been on the circuit for a couple of years. You know.
Veterans of the Comic-Con game. Well, this was an absolute pleasure. Now, remember downstairs you can get selfies and autographs from these gentlemen. But before that, I want to take a selfie with all of you guys. Can you take a picture real quick?
Yeah, thanks,
Just
guys.
give it up
Thanks
for
so
Charlie
much.
Cox and Vincent.
Thank you.
All right, you guys saw D'Onofrio.
Vincent D'Onofrio and Charlie
Vincent
Cox.
D'Onofrio and Charlie Cox.
Which is,
Correct.
Hell yeah.
yes. And that was it for that day. Thursday and Friday wasn't as eventful. Thursday, I was able to see Ashley Eccleston, I believe is her last name. She plays Ahsoka in the Clone Wars series.
Yes.
Right.
Saw her from afar. Great. And I saw...
Gentle.
No, not gentle. I didn't get to touch her. Or more so, he didn't get to touch
You
me.
didn't touch Ahsoka, but you touched Sky Guy. So.
I did touch Sky Guy, and Sky Guy touched me, so it was a
All
give
right,
and take.
and
In
you can,
more ways than one, I imagine.
Yeah, I
and you
wish.
can find that in her OnlyFans. All right.
I don't
just
have
kidding.
an OnlyFans.
Neither does he, I
yet.
think.
I'm kidding. But I also saw Vivian.
Aunt Viv?
No, Vivian.
Vivian Lyra
Lyra
Blair.
Blair, yeah. So little Leia. And she is tiny. She's a beautiful, tiny human being. And they had a bunch of like remote controlled R2s. And they brought one of them for her to take a picture with, and it was taller than her, and it was the cutest fucking thing ever. I saw her get down from her little high chair, not high chair really, but it was one of those like bar stools. So,
Alright.
you know, they were high,
Yeah.
and she got off, and then she like disappeared behind the table, and then she reappeared in front of the table, and she took a picture with it. Cutest fucking thing ever. And then I have a bunch of pictures of a lot of different cosplayers between Ahsoka. Most of them are Star Wars. I realized that they had a Mos Eisley area, and I realized that Star Wars is my comfort zone, and I mostly hung around that area. So I have a bunch of pictures of a bunch of like different Star Wars cosplayers, including but not Ahsoka, Mando. I think I have one with Bo-Katan. Jawas.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You did buy something.
And
What did you
it's,
buy? We're going to
apart
show it on the
from,
screen, but
$220 picture with Vincent. Can I have the? Or do you want to hold? It's a Pedro Pascal "I Am Your Daddy" candle. It was $20, and it was worth the investment.
That is the coolest thing.
Yeah, I will never light that up. But they do have an online store, so I will be going back to buy more stuff.
that's funny.
Nice.
For those
Yeah.
that don't know why that's funny, it's just the internet.
The internet's funny.
There's people that have tweeted things and they have made him read it, and they asked him what he has to say, and then he just says, "I am your daddy."
Yeah, or he's the daddiest.
Yeah, apparently.
So between him and Oscar Isaac, he is the daddy.
Listen, him and Oscar Isaac are a game right
They
now.
really are. I also
Hispanic for the
saw.
win.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I also saw somebody that like they didn't fix their, and they would play the main characters from Road to El Dorado.
Yes,
Yeah.
I saw that.
I think one of them is Tulio, and I can't remember.
I saw that video. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Talking about Pedro Pascal started The Last of Us.
Yay!
Woo!
Super excited.
Yeah.
What episode?
Finished the second episode.
Do you like it?
Alright.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, we're hooked.
Yeah.
I just
Get
didn't
a-
know how
Get a
Sarah was.
towel. And
Oh my God! Yes. Yes.
Well, since you haven't seen it yet, right?
No, which means
Never
I'm going to
mind.
need to start coming over.
Yeah.
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 It's so good though.
Listen, we were sitting here. I think it was yesterday. We didn't have anything to do, and Blacklist, but we finished that.
Yeah.
So we're just waiting for the new season to come out. But we're just sitting there, and we're like,
Yeah.
"There's nothing on Facebook or Instagram Reels. Okay, what are we gonna watch?" So I opened HBO Max, and I'm like, "That's it." Sarah's like, "Yeah, no, we're watching," and we're trying not to get too emotionally attached to anybody yet.
Oh,
'Cause I
well.
know.
Yeah.
That's gonna go out the window next second.
Right.
Also, if you see that all of the episodes have been watched, it's because I use your account to watch. So.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. It said watch again, and I'm like, watch again?
Twas me. I have your account. Do you want to know how I signed into that account? I took the exact same login information from Disney Plus, and I was like, maybe this will work, and it fucking did.
Oh, shit.
Obviously.
Yeah.
It's pretty much my login for everything.
Good to know.
Which is on the screen right now.
Yeah, it's on the screen. Make sure you log in. The first 10
Can't
members
see it,
get
you gotta
to
double
watch
tap.
HBO Max for free.
Yeah.
You gotta double tap on that.
The password to my HBO is go fuck yourself.
How'd you know I was that?
Beautiful tune. Beautiful tune.
That's funny.
You have to be listening through here so you can hear how everything sounds. It sounds beautiful.
That sounds beautiful.
Just wait till you start listening to it after.
Listen, talking about also Oscar Isaac, Spider-Man Across just dropped.
But
He is a beast.
Yeah.
They made him look like his movement, crawling, and the way that he was doing anything else. And it was because it gives me, the colors gives me that feel of like watching it without glasses.
all right, yeah, I can see.
I never finished watching it, but
It's a
after
great
seeing
movie.
that, I
It's
want
a
to watch.
really good movie. Yeah.
Now I want to watch it, and the reason I say that is the reason I bring up Oscar Isaac is because for those that don't know, to be playing Spider-Man 20, which was a look
Yeah.
kind of.
They explain quite a bit and like not explain more than
Right.
the other ones. It looks like he wants to stop something
Right,
and he doesn't want him to.
right.
That's
Because they also
interesting.
reference that tiny Peter Parker with Doctor Strange in Earth.
He's actually in it. He's actually in the new movie.
Is he?
Holland?
Like Tom Holland. Yeah.
Whoa.
Have you seen the trailer?
No, I have not. Not as of
He
yet. I've seen
voices
pieces
himself.
of it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't catch that.
In it.
Oh man.
They show him in another trailer.
Oh, okay.
I'll have
But you think it's more like a cameo instead of
Right. Yes.
Okay.
It's probably like the Nicolas Cage Spider-Man in the previous one. Well, you
Gotcha.
didn't get far enough, I guess.
Right.
But yeah.
Spoilers.
It's a really good movie. It's a really good movie.
Well, after watching this trailer and how excited I am about, I think I'm
You're gonna go back and watch
yeah,
it.
I'm going to definitely watch it.
Is it the colors or is it how they're like? There's constantly stuff flashing on the screen.
I don't
gives
think
you
it's
the
the
headache.
flashing. I
It's
just
kind of double.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
it's like I said, a movie like an
Without the
older
glasses. Yeah.
3D movie.
Seeing it double and then your eye focus. And
Right.
It's
Yeah.
causing you to just like.
Right,
Yeah, it's that comic book kind of thing.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the comic books are not
Moving.
So I think that's what it is. So we'll see. We'll take some Dramamine just to watch this movie.
I wouldn't take Dramamine because Dramamine sickness. I would take Advil.
I'll
The
take
two
both.
things. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, you'll
I'll take
get
both, okay.
drowsy with the Dramamine. That's why so you'll fall asleep during, which is what happens to me when I take Dramamine and I go to the parks.
You get tired.
I get very
Can you
sleepy.
imagine you're in a roller coaster and when it stops, you're like, "Hey, Lola." Lola?
She's fucking dead asleep on that.
What
I
the hell
wish that
happened?
was the case. So here's what happens when I go to the parks and I take Dramamine, right? I get on them and then I get super tired while I'm in line and I get super sleepy and super cranky and then I get on the actual ride and I still get motion sickness. But
Sounds
it's
like you get
lesser.
worse of the both.
It's lesser motion sickness that I would have if I didn't take it.
Right. Which
Also,
is a
I
win.
only get I also only get motion sickness after I've eaten. But after being at
Yeah.
the parks at like 2 or 3 o'clock, it's like I'm hungry. I
So-
want to eat.
So now that we're in this motion sickness, when I get on Hulk, it's terrible, like bad.
Can
when
you
I get,
feel your stomach?
Well, here's why I get motion sickness, but I don't get motion sickness in Velocicoaster. In Velocicoaster, it's zero gravity, so at one point your body's like not even. You feel like you're not held. When you turn around, when you turn upside down, you drop to. It's like barely minimum, but you feel like you're lifting. I think it's because my stomach is moving with my body. It doesn't make me. But on Hulk, I'm literally just strapped and I can't move.
There.
So I think that is what causes it. And obviously, when I get on Spider-Man, it's more of the motion of everything.
You being like pulled like this.
Right.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Right.
Same with the castle.
Right.
It happened
Well,
a little bit to me.
What that one does to me is when it starts spinning, like
Yeah.
turning upside down, because it's not a quick upside down.
It's just a
literally
very slow
and as it's
turn.
moving, you feel everything rushing,
It
and you're
just-
like, oh, here we go.
Feels horrible. Do you gag during this?
I don't
roller
gag because
coasters?
I just start breathing really hard, so I can keep
same.
everything
I
down. I'm
start
like,
Yeah.
sweating.
Yeah. See, that's what I do during Velocicoaster during the second half of Velocicoaster. First half, I'm like, I might be this. But then the second half comes into play, and it's like, oh my God.
Well, if you hear me like burping a lot during the ride, is because I'm forcing myself to burp so I can keep everything down.
See, that's just a dangerous game you're playing, bro. Because
No, it
like if
actually
you're
helps me.
burping, it's like,
It helps.
and then it's like, here comes the throw up.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird how that happens. Like for some,
If I burp and I'm already like having motion sickness, I will throw up on you, and I apologize for that. So if I'm already at that point where I'm like,
Make sure you turn to whoever, like the stranger you have.
if I'm already feeling like if I burp right now, I call it the burpy. It also happens if I'm like really, really, really drunk, and I burp and I'm like, okay, this, so I try not to.
Beautiful.
I try not to burp at all because it's.
Yeah, but that like it helps me, and it's only on
For me. It's like, oh, that's feel good.
But to me, it's mainly on Hulk. Hulk is
Okay.
the one because also the chair on Hulk, the bars are like on my head. I don't know why. Why am I the only one that gets a concussion from doing that?
No, same. Same.
It just rattles and I can feel my head bumping into the sides. And then now, here's the thing. I am having a headache because of the fucking getting my corners, but then I'm also motion sick at that point. So it's like, great, fantastic. Now, not only it hurts inside, but it hurts on the outside.
oh fuck.
I have a quick question for you in regards to the motion rides. Do you remember when we were little and this was not a fucking problem?
Yeah, it's
Because
called
I
age.
do. I also remember getting my mom on the teacups at the Storm ride next to Hulk and spinning that shit because I thought her motion, because I didn't know any better because I was a fucking child. And I was like, oh,
Now you.
I'm going to fucking throw up.
Hey nerds, this is Scott from the No New Friends podcast, the podcast for adults who like to laugh at adulting. We are streaming every Sunday night, 7 p.m. at all major podcasting platforms. You can also check us out, nonewfriendspodcast.com. We also have a Twitch, NNF podcast. Check us out, follow us there. We do gaming, we live stream episodes, we do all sorts of fun stuff. So check us out, nonewfriendspodcast.com.
The hardest part was putting the background on mask them, so they were. I've been trying to avoid that.
Can't see it. Can you see me?
Yeah.
Gotta step back up. That's a good thing about having a belly, so you can use it for other things, like putting stuff on it.
Apparently, dad bods are in now. So.
Winning.
All those years that I was depressed because I was fat, and I'm like, it's
Well,
like we're the
Not
we're
for
the
me, it's
ultimate.
not.
Well,
I don't like the way I look because I feel like shit all the time.
But also,
I can
dad
breathe,
bods
right?
have always been a thing. Society just made you think otherwise. Women
Right.
like fluffy men because they give great hugs, and you want comfort. You don't want like rock solid every time.
I didn't like that sentence.
Rock solid. Well, have you ever tried hugging or a
I have.
plank of fucking wood? Do you get comfort from that? No. Do
It
you get
smells
comfort?
good.
Well, do you get comfort from your like comforter? It's in the fucking name.
I'm a mix of the fluffy guy with the Michelin and then the tree.
In a tree.
Yeah, I'm a mix of that. I can be.
Why you say that? Look at him in the eyes.
Oh,
You
He's
were
trying to
look-
seduce you,
look
bro.
at you. Look at you.
He was looking straight in my eyes.
I'm like that.
He's just staring at me. You guys can't see his eyes, but sorry guys, I've been drinking.
Yeah.
No, really?
We all have. I'm about to be done.
Hey, listen.
I don't feel anything.
We. I can't feel anything. I just feel my eyes like really, really shut.
You can see it as
Just
well.
wait-
Yeah.
Just wait till you
Play back
see
the video.
this.
Play
I
back
can't
the
see it from here because I'm
evidence.
not wearing my glasses. It's funny. I can see all of you, but I can't see. Yeah.
But I mean, going back to that whole roller coaster,
there you go.
whatever. I don't care.
It's just like I gotta point it.
Like dicks.
Yeah,
Yo, chill.
Just like
Yo, why did I get so excited? Why did I start sweating? I don't know.
Heavy breathing ensues.
I did. I
Speaking
almost
of
grabbed
after
my
hours.
my hilt.
you got quite a
Should
few
I
to
leave
hold.
for this part, guys? Is this like a you three thing?
You can't leave. We need someone to hold the camera.
You have a tripod. You don't need anybody.
We're gonna
to
be
hold-
using that tripod.
We need alternate angles anyway.
Justin, were you like this?
What were you saying about motion sickness?
Every time he gets on a ride, wink, wink, he gets motion sickness.
You gotta put your head up.
Yeah,
Can't
yeah,
be your head down.
You can't put it down. You can't close your eyes either. I know you want to enjoy it, but you can't close your eyes.
Oh, what have I started, folks? Oh wait, no, we
It's
started
not what
this
you
shit.
start, it's what we finish.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Again,
right.
wink, wink.
Moving on.
No, we started this shit a long, long time ago.
Yeah, we did.
Oh man.
This ride is never stopping.
Oh hell yeah.
That's what she said.
Don't threaten me with a good time. Carry
Viewer-
on.
Viewer discretion is advised, folks.
Yeah.
That shit's been out the window.
It's every goddamn episode. Who
Yeah, I know.
cares?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm
Since,
still gonna say it, but it doesn't
since
really
episode
matter.
1.
You can also include
We
it at
just
the
need to
beginning of
say
the
it
video.
in the beginning of the episode.
Yeah.
Explicit.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Now save that. Save that audio and put it in the
Oh
beginning.
man. But yeah, now going back to that, it's generally the reason why when I go to pretty much my entire food, because then it just gives me time enough, especially nowadays, you know, my health the way it is and shit like that, because you can't do the same shit that you used to when you were a kid.
So you
Sad
have
as
to
it
wait
is.
20 minutes before you get in the pool, too?
That's actually a myth.
We need Mythbusters here so we can figure this out.
See, it's because
No,
the water.
seriously, that
the
shit
water
with
is moving your
the
belly.
Is that what you're saying?
it's just a part of getting older, sadly. But yeah, no, that whole you have to wait so long after you eat before you get back in the pool. That shit's a myth.
Mm.
Hi.
Hey, brother.
Brother. Your wife said something about there's always money while we were at TJ Maxx a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, there's always money in the stand. She immediately fucking got onto it and started laughing. Now we were with the children, so the children are like, what the fuck is wrong?
A lot.
A lot. There's a long list. You have time. So motion
So
sickness.
motion sickness.
Yeah, I think that whole thing is over. Yeah, just a product of getting older. Moving on.
All right.
Yeah, most definitely.
Perfect. Do you guys have anything else? Did you bring trivia today?
Yes.
Yes. Did you?
Oh.
No.
You have
I've
your
been
phone?
driving. So, for the people that listen, the reason why we don't do this often is because, again, I'm in Michigan. Well, right now in Florida. So,
Yeah,
I
this is not a hologram.
drove down,
Yet.
and no, I don't have a trivia.
No trivia. It's fine. I mean, you didn't have to explain all that. I could just cut that out.
Cut it.
Okay, I'm cutting that.
How long have we recorded for?
Plus the things that you're gonna add.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
That too. Yeah.
One is well, there's a couple of videos for Giancarlo Esposito. There is
Perfect.
14.
Perfect.
Plus those awesome.
I will like preface that by saying the Charlie Cox and Vincent one are not the best quality, just because.
It'll be okay. You can
That's
still hear what they're saying.
And you can see it on the big screen, but it kept like on focus like, afro, and like it kept focusing on her afro, and I'm like, can you fucking not? I'm trying to focus on something else. But
Gotcha. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
It'll look great.
I'm
Cool.
sure you can find sitting down.
Did you bring a quote today?
I did not.
Okay.
I pulled a Yati, and you know.
He drove.
Drove all the way down here.
What's your excuse, Justin? I'm kidding.
I don't have one.
Fucking worked all day, bitch.
That
Came here in
too.
2 wheels. That's your excuse.
Yeah.
All right. So if you guys don't have anything else, before we get out of here, make sure you go on our website, thenerdarchive.com. You can find all of our social media. You can find this podcast if you are looking where to listen to it. And you can meet the crew. We have a small profile for everybody there for you to get to know us, and just send us an email. It's at the Nerd Archive Production at gmail.com. We would like to meet you. So, and if you have any nerdy stories, anybody that you met, if you went to Megacon or anything like that, we would like to hear about it. And the best stories that we read, we'll read them on our podcast. So
Yes.
make sure you find us on all social media platforms, and make sure you check out the State of Confusion Ladies Edition. First episode will be dropping next week. I am saying that, so they have to do it.
Well, you first have to get your wife to watch the episode.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. And
Well, oh yeah, I almost forgot, because the best thing you can do at this point is click all the things.
All of them.
All of them.
all of them.
Every single
All
one
of
of them.
If you see a button, click it.
Yeah. Yeah, don't click that one.
Nope.
Don't click exit either.
Nope.
Keep it up forever.
And ever.
You should go to the
ever.
hospital if that happens.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you exceed 4 hours, see a doctor. Go to the hospital.
And make sure you go check out a different podcast that we support, such as the No New Friends podcast, the Why So Serious, a nerd podcast, Remy's Roundtable, Studio 21 baseball podcast, and go on YouTube and make sure you follow or subscribe to Big Beautiful Diz. All about history about Disney. That's where you can find it. This was it for tonight. You guys are fantastic. Again, this was Yachty, Justin, Lola, and Lewis. We'll get to see you next week. Stay you. Be yourself. I fucked that up. See you guys next week.
Peace out.
Okay, bye.
Deuces.
Bye.